Oh, hi, Mark. Welcome to the party, pal. You're for the Neighborhood Master Chaos, back with you once again for another Vinegar Syndrome review. And, boy, oh boy, I hope you're ready to get sweaty. And not in the good way. Because we're talking about the film Hitcher in the Dark, directed by Umberto Lenzi. I never thought I would say this about Umberto Lenzi movie. But in my humble opinion, Hitcher in the Dark is a very tame movie. Super tame. Super tame. It almost feels like an edited version of what a real Umberto Lenzi movie would be. I'm not going to go as far as to say that it feels like a TV movie, but it kind of feels like a TV movie. If it wasn't for all the titties and a little bit of blood, this almost plays like a TV movie. Like you can almost have a TV-safe version of this movie quite easily. Of course, it would be a little shorter. There is a lot of nudity. But when it comes to the violence and sort of the hard to watch type stuff that I thought was going to be in this movie, it's light to non-existent. I'll put it that way. And that was the biggest shock with this movie. Now, when this was first announced, I go, Hitcher in the Dark. It's basically a dude. Here's the plot, real quick. A dude drives around in an RV in Florida, and he picks up hitchhiking women and rapes and kills them. Well, that sounded really unpleasant, and I wasn't looking forward to watching it because that's not my type of enjoyment. If it's yours, fantastic. Don't do it in real life. Now, I put the player, turn the player on, put the movie in the player, and press play, and I was like, okay, I'm preparing myself for something really awful, for some really disgusting, sleazy cinema. And I know it's all fake. I know no one got hurt, nobody got raped or anything like that. But I just don't like violence toward women in an objectifying way. I don't have fun with those kind of movies. I don't think rape is funny. I don't think rape is a good topic for movies. I mean, it makes for some good cinema. I love Miss 45 and things like that. Death Wish, but Death Wish is hard. Death Wish is a harder core movie than this movie. The rape in Death Wish, holy fuck. No way. That is a hardcore movie compared to this. It's crazy to say that, but it's true. You think Umberto Lenzi, that guy's going to make the sleaziest, the most disgusting shit ever. Well, you'd be wrong. I'm shocked. I'm super shocked. I was expecting a Last House on the Left type movie, and this was more like people sitting in an RV talking about their feelings again, just like The Fear. Sort of undermined my preconceived notions of the film, and it turned out to be just talking. Yes, there's nudity. There's a ton of nudity. Josie Bissett is in it, of course, from Melrose Place. This is a young Josie Bissett. Too young, in my mind. Now, she says she's 19 in the movie, so that's probably true. But when we see her naked a couple times, and there's just something about her body looks too underdeveloped, if you know what I mean. And it gets into a weird gray area like, she looks too much like a little girl. And it's off-putting. It's not like, oh yeah, titties, yay, I love it. No, it's a little like, oh gosh, man, somebody put a blanket on her, Jesus, that's awful. And not in a way like, ooh, nasty, Lenzi's a bastard. No, it's more like, nobody's into this. What are you doing, man? One of the biggest issues with the movie, and that doesn't really affect the meat of the movie itself, is the title, Hitcher in the Dark. There's maybe two, 3 sequences that happen at night. There is no hitchhiking in the dark. The hitcher is the girl. The hitcher is the girl. He's not the hitcher. The threat is not the hitcher. So, and the whole movie takes place literally in the middle of the day. It is a bright, sunny day. It's Florida. Bright, sunny day, cloudless skies. There's almost no nighttime in this. So Hitcher in the Dark feels really strange to me because, maybe it's like a poetic thing. Maybe that's what they were going for, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I honestly don't have anything to say about this movie except that it was super lame, super tame, and not what I was expecting. If you're going into this expecting Last House on the Left type, gore and sleaze and violence, you're going to be sadly mistaken. I mean, Hills Have Eyes is a tougher watch than this movie. This is a pretty vanilla movie. There's stuff in it that is distasteful, obviously, but it's all the stabbing and all the kills happen off camera. It just kind of cuts to somebody bloody. What the hell? or somebody's getting stabbed, but it's like off camera, so they're going ah, oh, and that's it. There's no real like hardcore violence in the movie. Now I'm saying I needed that, but this felt like the kind of movie that would deliver that shit, right? I mean, Lenzi created the cannibal genre, so how are you delivering such a tame, mild movie, which is essentially about two people getting to know each other in an RV? That's what it is. Joe Ballo plays the RV driving serial killer, and then Josie is the hitcher. She gets picked up. He kidnaps her, and in a weird turn, it also has like an incest kind of theme running through it, kind of like The Fear, honestly. And he cuts off her beautiful blonde hair and gives her like this weird like short cropped gray hair. It's very strange because he has a thing for his mom and he wants her to look like his mom, and then he wants to have sex with her like she's the mom. And I was like, that's weird. That is weird. But what's weirder is the girl's like, okay, and she lets him do it with her, but then he goes, I can't do it. I can't do it. You're a whore, and then he walks off. So there's no rape in the movie. There is a moment where it feels rapey, and you think, oh shit, it's gonna go there. It doesn't go there. Now, am I complaining that a movie doesn't have rape? I needed more rape? I guess I am, in a weird way, because this is the kind of movie that would be the rapiest movie of all time, and it's not. I Spit on Your Grave is a harder watch. I don't know why I came in with the preconceived notions that this would be a really hard-to-watch, intense movie. Maybe because the plot was about a guy driving around raping and killing women, and it turns out to be about a guy with mommy issues who falls in love with a girl he picks up on the road that he plans to kill, but he just wants to turn her into his mother. So kind of a drive-through Psycho without the artistry and the acting ability. That sucks. That's boring. Boring as hell. You can probably guess that this isn't going to get a high rating. This gets 1 star from me. The Hitcher in the Dark. What a disappointing movie. And it's funny that I'm saying that. I'm disappointed that this wasn't a rougher watch, because I think a lot of people buying this or want to buy this are expecting like, yeah, fucking intense, rape revenge kind of movie. You're not going to get this with Hitcher in the Dark. Mileage may vary. Sam and Kat do a commentary on this, and they love it. They're gushing over this movie. I don't know why, but they're like, oh man, this is crazy. It's not that crazy, man. They've probably seen a lot more movies than I have, to be honest. Well, maybe we're on the same page. That's not that fucking crazy. It's really lame, really tame, and honestly, it's pretty damn dumb. The writing, the way Lenzi thinks that American kids act. There's one scene, the first time we meet Josie, she's like dancing with her friends, but they're all just like in a circle around her while she does this. What is that? People don't do that. How is that fun? Why is that a fun time? Why would anybody say, oh, let's stage it like this? Because that's what American kids do. That gives you an example of what this is. It wants to be sort of a sequel to The Hitcher. It's not. It wants to be, kind of an intense melodrama. It is a melodrama, but I wouldn't say it's very intense whatsoever. I'm not going to spoil the ending because it makes absolutely no sense. Now, there is, I heard, sort of the story that Lenzi had to change the ending at the last minute, so maybe it was supposed to end one way, and they had to come up with the ending that's delivered in the film. But both endings would have been awful. Both endings would have just been a waste. Just a waste. The movie in general, to me, is just a waste overall, and I'm glad that this is one that I knew I was going to early sell off and not have in my collection. I'm not one of those Vinegar Syndrome guys who just needs everything. I want everything on my shelf. Look, space is at a premium. I've got a family. I've got kids. We need space for toys. We need space for their movies. All that stuff. I don't have space on my shelf for a movie I'm never going to rewatch, and that's The Hitcher in the Dark here from Vinegar Syndrome. One of the special features, well, I mentioned one of them, commentary with Sam and Kat, and I believe there's an archival interview with Lenzi as well, and that's pretty much it. A reversible slip on this. I do like that. I do like this artwork, and I wish this... Honestly, if the movie took place at night and it was a little sleazier, a little scummier, a little more fun to watch, I think that's the problem. It's not fun to watch. It's just kind of boring. People sitting around and Josie Bassett's character Daniela is so awful and stupid. Such a stupid final girl. There's a moment where he falls asleep and she can kill him. She's awake. She's free to roam around. She can kill him. She can't kill him. And she chooses not to. She chooses to go back to sleep because, he promised me that he'll let me go tomorrow. So I'm just going to go to sleep and then he'll let me go. Guess what? He doesn't let her go. She's an idiot. Anybody in her position would have smashed a bottle over his fucking face and cut his throat. That doesn't happen. So we have a final girl here who is a brain dead moron we don't want to follow around. And we have a bad guy who's a crybaby, mama's boy. Overall, a pretty disappointing movie. Hitcher in the Dark. That's my 2 cents. If you liked it, please let me know down in the comments. Because like I always say, Mastercast Theater is a conversation. I'd love to get your take on it. It's just as important as mine. Because, after all, movies are subjective. And I want to know all about it. Like I say, do we judge a movie for what it is? Or do we condemn it for what it isn't? And for me, I always fall on the trope, or I guess the definition, that a review is an opinion, right? My opinion is I'm condemning the movie because what it is was not acceptable to me. And that's honestly how we've, when we talk about reviews, we talk about movies, we talk about how we view a movie, how we appreciate a movie, how it hits us. It's all about how acceptable is it to my taste, to my my eccentricities. This movie was not acceptable to me, so I will have to condemn it, unfortunately. Hitcher in the Dark. No es bueno, mi amigo. No es bueno. Well, that'll do, Bugaboo. That's it for the Vinegar Syndrome February package. I will be doing the Forgotten Gialli box set volume 3 on my next, well, depending on when you watch this, I'll be doing it on my box set review Sunday video, so stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping those are better movies than the 2 released in February 2021, which I was disappointed with equally. My friend, let's continue the conversation in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up before you leave. Thank you so much. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Mastercast comes at you daily, and I love you just the way you are. Remember that you're important, you're special, you matter. We'll talk soon. Mastercast Theater is closing. I gotta pull the curtain here across the silver screen, clean up all this popcorn and soda that I've spilled in my rant. But I'll see you soon. I know I will. Because Mastercast remains to be continued.